Class 7. Till now I have gave you an chapter about weather. Last chapter you have learned about what are there in the weather, how the atmosphere is formed, what is humidity, how it is humidity helpful, what is cloud cover, etc. Now in this chapter we will read about recording of weather. What happens with the recording of weather? Some elements are required for the record of temperature, humidity, pressure, rainfall, which you have studied in the last chapter. Direction of the wind, speed. So how this temperature of the weather is measured? We know that our temperature is measured by thermometer. But how is the temperature of the weather measured? Well, that too is measured with a thermometer. But here there is mercury in the thermometer as we have in our thermometer. As the principal work of the mercury is to rise. It expands when it comes in contact with heat and contracts when it cools down. Temperature is measured in two scales, Fahrenheit and Celsius. Fahrenheit scale, in the Fahrenheit scale, the freezing point is 32 degree Fahrenheit, while the boiling point is 212 Fahrenheit. On the centigrade scale, the freezing point is 0 degree and the boiling point is 100 degree. If we want to convert a Celsius into Fahrenheit, we use a formula. The formula is 5 by 9 Fahrenheit minus 32. Whatever Fahrenheit has been recorded in this thermometer, that is put here, then minus 32, and do the calculation and we get Fahrenheit. Well, this is the thermometer for temperature, for measuring temperature. After this, we have humidity. As I told you, the water vapors that is being evaporated from the rivers, lakes, those are collected somewhere. So those collections of water particles are known as humidity. And how does the humidity measure or calculate? Let's see. This is a thermometer for measuring humidity. Now, as I have told you earlier, actual amount of water vapor present in the atmosphere is known as absolute humidity, and we measure different types of humidity, that is known as relative humidity. The ratio of actual amount of water vapor present in air at the given temperature and the total amount of water vapor in the air can be held in the temperature. Relative humidity is expressed as percentage, and the thermometer through which we measure it or the instrument with which we measure it is known as hygrometer. Here there are two thermometers. In this thermometer here we can find mercury. Okay, and here is a bulb. This one is a bulb. The dry bulb thermometer is an ordinary thermometer, but here it is a wet bulb, and it is kept wet by a wick, which is dipped into a container of distilled water. This water keeps it cool. The wet bulb thermometer shows the lower temperature. Now, how much temperature is going up and down? This one shows the lowest temperature, lower temperature, and this shows the actual temperature. As evaporation from the moist wick has a cooling effect, that's why it shows the cool temperature. A large difference between the readings of this thermometer mean low relative humidity, and small difference means high relative humidity. Next is atmospheric pressure. I told you as the wind goes up there is a pressure created. Now next one is atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is also measured by a machine or instrument known as barometer. Here in this barometer it is a thermometer, vacuum places here, and here it is mercury. Now what happens when the pressure in the atmosphere atmosphere on the earth's surface, how much weight it is pushing. Now how we do it? This pressure varies from place to place and time to time. The instrument is used to measure is known as barometer. It consists of a glass tube. It is sealed in the upper end and lower end is inverted into a container. Here we can find mercury, whose surface is exposed here when the wind is giving pressure on the mercury. The glass tube rises, and here is a scale in this, in which we read the reading. It is measured in millibars. Normally atmospheric pressure should be 1013 millibars. I will try to give you one demonstration of it. You should see those things which I present you. Now dew. I told you what is dew. When the condensation occurs, small particles of water vapors goes out. The process water vapor in the air get converted into tiny droplets or ice. Dews are formed in winters. They fall in the grasses. Moist air comes in contact with pore surface and the ground, and the water vapor changes into water. So dew drops are formed. Now these dew drops are very important for plants and small grasses. Next is precipitation. Precipitation is the falling of temperature atmosphere as a result of condensation. It has many forms like rainfall, snowfall, hail. I have told you earlier. Now rainfall is very common in India, and to know how much rain have occurred, an instrument is used that is known as rain gauge. What does it contain? It contains a cylinder and a metal funnel with lid into a smaller copper container or a glass bottle. Now what happens? How it is used? To see how maximum rainfall is occurring where and how amount of water is collected in the container. How is it collected? The container is left in an open place. Now who does all this works? All this you have read is done by meteorological department. They put a cylinder in such a way that the water is collected into the tube. Let me show you the rain gauge picture. Here, when water is raining, it is collected here. After it is completed, or if it is filled up, this water is poured into this cylinder. Here marks are given, and it is collected in this board, and after the rain has stopped, they take the reading how much rain have occurred. Then that reading is being given to us by calculating that how much rain have occurred and what is the percentage of rainfall. It is measured in centimeters and millimeters. Okay, rainfall is measured daily. This work is done daily, and I have my opportunity to see this work, and I know how it is done. Next, now rain is been collected. What happens with snow? Snowfall occurs when feathery flakes of frozen moisture fall on the earth's surface when the temperature and the ground temperature remain below the freezing point. Frozen air drops from ice pellets and falls in hails. It is the most destructive form of precipitation. Okay.